up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're starting a brand new rewatch marathon, and this time it'll be a little bit different. We're talking about a few famous fighting kids. That's right, it's the Karate Kid versus the Three Ninjas. Every week, I'll go back and forth between the Karate Kid films and the Three Ninja films, ending with a ranking video pitting the two head-to-head to find out which one's the best of the best. And today we're starting with the Karate Kid. Funny enough, I honestly used to think that the Three Ninja series was a spin-off of the Karate Kid, and it was Mr. Miyagi in both the films. I now know that I must have been incredibly ignorant because the two look nothing alike. Now, truthfully, I've seen all of these movies, but none of them will probably be that memorable to me, since I probably didn't see many of them more than once as a child. This movie is probably the most memorable thanks to the wax on, wax off scenes and the end battle, and especially memorable because a lot of the scenes are flashback to in the YouTube show Cobra Kai, which I just love. However, there's also a lot of stuff in this movie that I completely forgot, and I'll try to explain that in a second, but first let's talk about the plot of the film for a second, and don't worry, this will be an ephemera plot synopsis. Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, ephemera. Things that are meant to last for only a short time, aka the reason why most warranties exist. The Karate Kid takes young Daniel LaRusso to California after his mother moved for a job, and we'll just say that he isn't taking to his new hometown very well. A local karate dojo called Cobra Kai is teaching their students to not have mercy, and several Cobra Kai students are beating up on Daniel LaRusso. To help him, the janitor of his apartment complex, Mr. Miyagi, agrees to teach Daniel karate to defend himself, but the only way Mr. Miyagi could get the head of Cobra Kai to agree to leave Daniel alone while he trains is to enter him in a karate tournament, scheduled only a few weeks out. So here's the thing, when it comes down to the Karate Kid, I'm probably in the minority here, but I love the remake. Out of all these movies, I've seen that one the most because I love Jackie Chan, and it's probably one of his most dramatic roles, and he brings a level of realism to it that I really admire. Even Will Smith's kid, Jaden, who I normally kind of hate, he's really good in that role, and I'm not going to review that until later. Just know that I've always loved that movie because it's important. It's important because I'm actually shocked at how much the remake, remade here. I didn't remember Mr. Miyagi being the janitor of the apartment complex. I remember Jackie Chan's character being the janitor in that movie. I didn't remember Daniel moving. I remember Jaden Smith moving. I didn't remember Mr. Miyagi getting drunk and depressed over the loss of his wife. I remember Jackie Chan's scene though, and everything was in both movies, which made my experience watching this movie a lot better than I remember it being. But I still didn't remember the love triangle story of the film. Literally none of that was memorable. It was in there as a reason for Cobra Kai to be so aggressive towards Daniel, but it's so dumb. I constantly felt like everything with that love story was so pointless. But there really is a level of classic to that film that's unmatchable, and that's something that you cannot say about the Karate Kid remake. Ralph Macchio played in a few other films, one that I'll be talking about tomorrow, but none of his roles were as iconic and instantly memorable as Daniel LaRusso, which is partially why he reprised his role in Cobra Kai. It is such a likable character that you don't really care that the karate in the film isn't very realistic. You believe it all the same because you believe the characters and you actually care about what they're physically doing. One of the weird things in this film, though, is a small detail. Daniel already knew karate before he met Mr. Miyagi. It's spoken about in passing, blink and you'll miss it, but Daniel took karate lessons before his mother moved to California, and I think that was a mistake. I think it's actually more impactful to take this vulnerable, indefensible underdog character to go from zero to hero by teaching him the basics of karate, as well as the concept of respect, and have that beat out the darkness and evil of hateful trainers. That makes for a better character arc, and I think it matches up more with the remake, but I could be wrong about that. In general, this is a film that's classic enough for people to want to either continue a story or remake it in one form or another, which means the movie is good. It affects people in a variety of ways, and it has a decent message while it does that. Let's take a look at the final score for a second from an unbiased vantage point. This film does a pretty decent job with a variety of things. The wax on, wax off scene, and really the entire second and third act of the film is pretty memorable stuff, and we've had a lot of movies from then until now regarding martial arts, and truthfully, Wax on, wax off, that's still original to this day, which is fantastic. My unbiased score is 80%. And because this is really big with nostalgia and feeling classic, my bias score is a lot higher at 92%. These two scores averaged together comes to a final score of 86%. 86 out of 100 possible stars, granting the first Karate Kid film with a letter grade of B+. And you know what? I think everything after this point has a high bar to beat, but we'll see how it goes. Guys, let me know your thoughts on the Karate Kid in the comments down below. Do you find it super nostalgic? Let me know. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review, because there's more like it coming up. Hit the thumbs up button, because that helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with the next